This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield and his better half, Marney Winfield.
I was given your number by the health care, so I was just wondering if you were interested to let me know and come at my door.
Man,
It is the 30th of September. My name is Corey Winfield.
My name is Marney Winfield.
Oh, special guest. And this is the 217 Recovery Podcast. A lot of people have been worried.
Yep.
Corey, what are you doing? Are you drinking?
People calling me asking about you.
I know, it's crazy. And the answer to that question is no, I have not been drinking. Last time I had a drink was the 14th of December, 2018. Thus, my clean date is the 15th of December, 2018. Still. So, I'm proud of that. But
Everyone can breathe.
Yeah. But you were very worried as well. And if you want to go ahead and say a little bit about what happened to you.
Oh, right. Well,
because you're on the phone. People are like, why isn't she in the studio?
Right. Yeah. No, I'm just in the other room because, and I'll get to that here, why it'll all make sense. So I've had quite the last month or so of, if things come in threes, then I'm like the qualifying person for all of that. Bad things come in threes. So I'm done. I'm done now. So yeah, so I've been through a lot of stuff. We both went through the issue of another miscarriage, which was unfortunate. But we got through that, and then come to find out, I have ended up having COVID. So, yeah. So that put me, and my symptoms are actually not that bad in the whole scheme of things, comparatively. I was achy and, headache, really no appetite, but for the most part, it was just kind of like, blah, nothing real big. But then we find out that you got it as well.
Thanks, honey.
And yeah, you're welcome. We share everything. So, no, I mean, I pretty much expected it. And we had done some podcasts about that, and, where, things they weren't on the up and up, but, still hanging in there. And for whatever reason, I had a fall. I think I actually did talk about it before on a podcast. Last year, I fell on some steps and fell like right on my butt. And I ended up getting x-rays, and I had like a sprained SI joint, which is like your hip and your pelvis. And anyhow, but that spot started hurting again, and I'm not sure. I asked my doctor if it had something to do with that or not, like if they're more vulnerable, old injuries or what have you. But I don't know. Ends up, and then I don't know, about 6 days ago it was or so, I twisted some kind of way or something, and like my spine, just like my whole left leg just went crazy with nerve pain, and I couldn't walk, and it was terrible. So I ended up in the hospital, and been there the last 5 days. So now I'm kind of like bedridden. And kind of, I was away from you.
Mm-hmm.
So my first instinct is like going back in my brain as to when I thought I had a free pass back in my using days. Because I know if I could see an opportunity and my head wasn't in the right place, that I thought I could get away with it, that I probably I would have taken it, because I wasn't ready for that change yet. And as much as I love you and trust you and, know you're doing so well, there's still that little piece of you that always is like, I need to check on. I'm like, I hope to God he's not picking up because I'm not there. He knows I'm not coming home. He's got that whole place to himself. And it was worrisome.
Yeah. And, I admitted, I did think about it. But I thought about it. I didn't just act on it. And I don't drink anymore. That's the thing that I just keep throwing into my own head is I don't drink anymore. And I'm sick with COVID. And I did get tested today and it was negative. I don't know what the hell's still going on. I've been sleeping like I've never slept before in my life. That's not me. I don't sleep for days on end. And that's what I've been doing the last 3 or 4 days. And that's, I think, what kind of freaked people out. I know my mom was freaked out. My sister, you were, because I couldn't even, I would wake up for just a second and the phone was annoying. And when it would ring, it would like freak me out. And I would think it was like an alarm going off. And I'd start like just getting up and just my brain just not in the right place. And I'm like, well, I got to get ready for what? What am I doing? And I'm like, I just got to turn this phone off. And I just slept for like 2-3 days and it was crazy. And yeah, that's what happens when you relapse too. So I could see where a lot of people would be like, whoa, hold on, man. He's not answering his phone. He's not writing us back. What's going on? This is very, very familiar. I'm sure that's what my mom was thinking, but no, I didn't drink at all. And it was just a very small little thought, but I'd be a liar if I tell you that I didn't think about it at all, but I did, and it's just like, oh yeah, I could drink, but then it's like, no, I couldn't because first of all, I would know. And I'm not trying to live that life anymore and I don't drink. And I wouldn't stop, like until I burned everything to the ground. And things are going pretty damn good for me right now. And drinking, it was not going to help it. It's not going to help me feel better. And I don't know. This COVID thing, though, was a pain in the ass. And like I said, I don't know what I have now. It's something because I don't just sleep all day. Like this is just not me. And now that I tested negative today, I can go to the doctor tomorrow and say, is it mono? Because I mean, my throat and it's like deep in my throat. Like it's not up by like your glands where normally it would be, like a sore throat. It's like deep, like underneath my Adam's apple almost. I was talking about that the other day, and it's weird. That's like a weird spot for my throat to hurt. It's never hurt there before, and just being so tired and this headache is just like pounding. It's not constant, but when it comes on, man, it's just pounding. Like on the right side of my head, and I'm like, oh, I have a tumor. And then you start telling me about
not a tumor.
some guy who died because of a brain aneurysm or something, and so that's got me freaked out a little bit. But I don't know, man. It sucks. I reached out to my instructors today because I'm supposed to be starting school 3 weeks ago, and my psych class, they'd already dropped me. So I don't know. I know most of them are like, we don't do makeup work. And I'm like, well, we'll see. Because I mean, COVID, there has to be some kind of COVID
loophole.
There has to be, man. Because I wasn't avoiding work. And psych, that's the class I really, really want to take. And I mean, it does suck that I'm 3 weeks behind or 4 weeks behind or whatever, but I'm willing to make that work up. If they let me, I'll be busting my ass, but at the same time, it's like I wasn't just avoiding it to avoid it. So we'll see how that plays out. But COVID is horrible, and I don't know if it brought your back pain on. I have no idea. Maybe if you weren't so freaky deaky.
Oh God,
Man.
I'm just saying. Isn't that what you told the doctor?
No, I didn't tell. Not in so many words. No.
Oh no, not in so many words. Okay. No, but back pain's horrible. Sciatica is it's one of the worst things you could ever have, and that caused me to relapse back in the day because there's nothing else that I could have taken. Like my normal doctor wouldn't give me any pills because he knew that I had a problem with alcohol. And he was like, well, I can't give you anything, just ibuprofen. And ibuprofen wasn't working. And nothing really works on sciatica. when you get that shooting down your leg, you're just screwed. And so I went outside of the doctors I normally went to. I don't know if it was like a walk-in clinic, or I just made sure it wasn't a part of the same doctor I went to, their little group. And they drug tested me, and of course I was clean. And he's like, okay, well, I'll give you some of this hydrocodone, or I don't know what the hell they gave me, something like that. And I thought, okay, I'm finally free. You know, this is going to be the good stuff. And I took some. Nope, didn't do a damn thing. Not a damn thing. I was so upset. I was so pissed because I really thought that was going to end the pain, you know, and no. So the next thing I do was, well, I know if I drink enough, I pass out and I sleep, because I couldn't even sleep. I mean, it was hurting 24/7. And that went on for like 9 months, and it was horrible. It was hell. And all they would do is send me to physical therapy, and then they would do this and then send me back to physical therapy. And, you know, I never had surgery on it, so I'm glad that didn't happen. But then again, if you'd asked me when I was right up in it, I'd have been like, give me the surgery. I was telling them, just take the nerve out of my back. I was like, it hurt so bad. That way. And I was just like, take it out, man. Just take it out. Numb it. Just, I don't care. Just get rid of it. I don't need it. But it doesn't work that way. But, you know, that did cause a couple of relapses. And that's the only thing I knew how to get rid of the pain. And I didn't get rid of it. I just was able to sleep, which was crazy. But, you know.
Well, yeah. But for me, I mean, it was just the signs were there of what I would do when I had relapsed, because like no responding. And I would ask you serious questions. I'm just like, are you sure you're okay? Like, can you get back to me just to ease my mind? And then he didn't even respond to that. So I'm thinking, this is bad, because he's not going to lie to me. So why is he not responding? Oh, no, he was just sleeping, but I didn't know that. So it was really worrisome. And I'm sure, I mean, it was worried. My mom was worried about it, you know. They're like, I can't get a hold of him. He's not like this. He's done a podcast. That's when you know something's wrong.
Yeah, that's how you know how sick I was. Is, you know, we missed like a week or two podcasting, and then I did the one just to kind of like tell people, hey, I'm still alive, I'm still doing good. But yeah, it was tough, man. It really was. And you know how I felt when people at first started thinking that I was drinking and all that. And I was just kind of like, man. But then again, you know, like my mom, like she can question me all day long because I've lied to her and pulled fast ones on her so many times that, yeah.
You done earned it.
Yeah. And then especially with this going on, like, yeah, I was sick and I was sleeping, but it was the same kind of thing that I would do when I would relapse. So yeah, absolutely. She would think that, you know, but I wasn't. And, you know I wasn't. I mean, she knows now, I'm sure. I mean, she knows what happens when I relapse. It doesn't end well ever. Right. But it's one of those things that, you know, like as pissed off as I can kind of be, I'm kind of not. Because have I really earned it? Will I ever really earn it? I don't know. You know, in being such a similar situation, I wouldn't put it past anybody to think that I was using or drinking or whatever. So, I mean, as much as it kind of hurts, but it doesn't, you know, it's a really weird feeling. Like, it's like, I know I can't be mad, but I'm kind of mad, but I'm not.
But it's also something to be proud of as well. I mean, you're going to come out on the other side of this, even though you're not 100% yet, you're going to come out of this totally awful sickness of whatever it is and the COVID, and you got through it. You know, bad things happen. We get through it. So.
Yeah, it was quite the few weeks there. And, you know, like you said, the miscarriage news, and then that was like kicking the nuts. And then the COVID was a kick in the nuts. And then like with the COVID, I think it was like the first week or so. And then I like one day I started feeling better, and I thought, hell yeah, I'm done. This is it. And then I woke up the next morning and it was just as bad. And then 2 days ago, I lost my taste like 2 or 3 times. And that was really, really pissing me off, because when I lost it the first time, I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. And then I got it back and I'm like, all right, cool. And then 2-3 days later, it's like, wait, hold on. I can't taste anything again. Like, what? And then I started tasting again, and then it went away again. And then I couldn't taste anything. And I was just like, what in the hell's going on? And then I don't know if it's I don't know what I have or what, COVID let enter my body. But, I'm negative for COVID, but I'm still like, I'm not there, man. I'm still very fatigued. And like I said, I've never just slept for days. I've never done that. So I don't know.
Never.
Some throat is weird, hurt. And I don't know.
But we really do appreciate everyone's concerns and prayers and, helpful thoughts. So
yeah,
thanks everybody.
Sure. Haven't even been really paying too much attention to fantasy football. I mean, I have been.
That's when you know he's sick.
Yeah, I have been, but I haven't been, not like I normally would. So anyway, I just figured we would do a quick little podcast tonight because we're supposed to do one on Thursdays anyway, and I want to get back on the schedule. So
right,
we'll just keep going at it.
Yeah, we're A-okay over here.
Yeah. And since it is Thursday, I'm not going to play the shout out sounder because you said it's horrible. But I do want to.
Are you really upset about that?
No. Mm-mm. No, I'd rather you tell me than let me keep playing it.
Do you want to play it just so
no, I don't.
Don't know?
I don't want to play it.
Oh, come on.
No, but I do want to give a shout out to Courtney Quick. She's got a job at Sanford House in Grand Rapids, which is a good place. So
awesome.
I'm proud of her. She called last week. So big shout out to her. Big shout out to Justin again for coming through and helping with the rides when I was out.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that a ton. I'm sure he appreciates it too.
Yeah. I got a shout out to Rachel Pryor, who's been kicking butt in her new job, helping me out at work, and she's amazing. And I'm shout out to Carrie Posey, who I touched base with her the other day. She's been hooking me up with some medical equipment, shower seat or something.
Carrie Posey, you said?
She's been through all this, so she's like, she knows everything about all of it. So we chatted on the phone for a while, and she's doing really well. So, and shout out to all my peeps at work who've been, helping me while I've been out of the office. I have been working a lot though from home, so it's amazing what you can actually get accomplished via Zoom and email and texting and so on. So I'm keeping up.
Well, thanks for joining me on the podcast tonight, honey. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're very welcome.
All right. Thanks again for listening, and we will talk to you again on Saturday.
All right. See you guys.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the 217 Recovery Podcast. Listen on the 217 Recovery app. Download the app and rate us in your app store.